Hey, it's Geek Public Radio right here on geekpublicradio.com. My name is Topher, and with me, as usual, is Crazy Chris.
Hello. How are you today? I am also a human.
Woo! It's been a day. Totally redoing the entire of this room.
Yeah, it looks.
Got rid of windows that were leaking air, heat and air.
That sounds weird, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you turn around, like they're not there anymore.
There's no windows in this place anymore. It's now a windowless building.
Sometimes I wish.
No. It is soon will be a padded room.
Yeah. With all of the we have eight more
Panels.
Eight panels of those that are going, the sound panels that are going up.
It's going to sound a lot better in here. I mean, actually, what's great is the sound is already deadening.
Yeah.
Like, there's
getting
no
rid
echo.
of the glass and all of that stuff, like it's brought it down.
And we don't hear the sirens anymore of no more neighbors getting murdered. It's great.
Right? No more kids yelling.
God, the screams, man, it was so annoying. Just die in silence. Good God.
So last video we did was Deadpool. We watched the Deadpool trailer.
Yes.
And another thing that was graced us by Super Bowl, the Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this one. So it wasn't something that I watched a lot of. The fact that they're remaking it, I'm kind of like, I don't know why. So we're going to find out.
I watched it. For those of you who are older people like me.
For the older generation.
For us old guys.
Yelling at clouds.
You remember the Lee Majors?
I know who Lee Majors is.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with Lee Majors.
He had a TV series called The Fall Guy.
Right.
Because he was a stuntman. So he would do all the falls and all of that stuff.
Right. So
and
he was the fall guy.
It was kind of like
not to be confused with the summer guy, which is what your wife runs off to
right.
when you're on vacation. So yeah.
But it was like the A-Team-esque. You know how it always opened with Hannibal on A-Team, like Hannibal being on a movie set and doing whatever.
If you have a problem, you can call the A-Team.
Right. It was very much in the vein of A-Team and Simon and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So this is
still not familiar with the show, man. It's like so bothersome to me.
This is what they have decided to remake.
All right, let's see what we got here.
In 3, 2, 1, action. So good.
Oh, good.
Shot to the heart, and you're too late, darling. You give love a bad name.
Anyone but him. I didn't approve him. You know that. You are literally the last person on earth I want to see slap the shit out of you. I really could.
And I'm open to that in a safer environment.
It's definitely giving me
You've been a ghost. No phone call, no text.
It's not like I didn't want to apologize.
You don't have to explain anything. It was just a flame. So how have you been? God, I hate that thumbs up stunt guy stuff. I'm the director.
We're gonna set this man on fire.
You're a stunt guy. We need to keep it super profesh.
Profesh is my middle name.
You said your middle name was Danger.
How do we do, boss? Really?
Yeah.
Holster that.
Yeah, it's holstered. It's done. Forget. You never saw it.
Tom Ryder, the biggest action star on the planet, is missing. You need to bring him back. Or Jodie's movie is dead.
Why me?
You're a stuntman. Nobody's going to notice you. That's your job. No offense.
I mean, some taken.
You find Ryder,
Ryder,
save Jodie's film. You get the love of your life back.
I'm not the hero. I'm just the double.
Not today, you're not.
Tom, we really need you back on set, pal.
Oh my God.
Dead body on ice.
He was so dead, Gail. He was super dead.
He has got himself involved with some shady people.
I had no choice. I had to do some Jason Bourne shit. They were trying to kill me. And not in a fun way. You can make it, you can make it. You can't make it. It's too dangerous. You gotta be stairs. Okay.
What happened to your face? You look terrible.
You look amazing.
You fall down, you get right back up. How far would you go for the one that you love?
I'll buy you a drink when this is over. Engage your core. Let's do it later. Want to go to a beach somewhere?
Drink a spicy margarita.
Make some bad decisions.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't
know. Are you gonna?
I'm trying.
Okay. Disengage. I don't know how I feel.
I'm not sure that was the one that played in Super. I wasn't watching, but I just happened to see the thing.
No, that's fine. I mean, that was probably more comprehensive trailer anyway. So,
but no, it has nothing to do with the original premise of Fall Guy. At least Chips, when they made the comedy spoof that was
right,
the remake.
Which I thought was always Reno 911 anyway, so I don't know. It looks like something. I mean, I'll watch it just because it's at least unique enough to be.
I mean, definitely
a newer idea. Sure, it's an existing IP, but it's at least a newer idea.
It's like they're like, we like the name, we like the concept of a stuntman going and doing stuff.
Right.
Well, what about all the stuff that goes with it? Nah.
Well, I mean, it looked like there would be plenty of stuff like that he's doing on set as well. So I mean, and then
right. Well, I mean, like the others, like
even the lead majors,
private detective or a bounty hunter or whatever. Like people come to him. So that's what he does in his day job while he's between movies, is people hire him to go do stuff.
Yeah.
And that was the premise of before. Now this is like, hey, you're a stunt man. You can go out and like do that.
Right. You're trained in martial arts and espionage and all the things that infiltrating a mafioso type cartel situation. You can do this. This is totally in your wheelhouse.
If they would have kept it more toward, I would have been more excited if they kept it more towards the least major side.
Yeah.
Because then you could have had a character like Brad Pitt's character in Once Upon a Time.
Sure.
In Hollywood.
Yeah.
And had him be the character going and doing all this stuff. Like the rugged dude that goes out and and then the comedy comes from him being in awkward positions.
I think the biggest drawback for me on this was that we're supposed to believe that Ryan Gosling is the more unattractive stuntman for the guy that's the main star. Like that's the hardest thing to swallow for me. Is like,
well, I mean, literally, like it looks like it was Ken meets Logan Paul.
I mean, a little bit.
Like literally, you put them together and you have Ryan Gosling in that.
That's pretty much it. I mean, it's not an incorrect comparison. Ryan Gosling is probably what Logan Paul aspires to be. Would be my guess.
Probably.
I mean,
what's the dirty hair? Like if you look at Gosling and then like his other roles, like they get the hair, they dye it, they do all of this stuff, and it looks like brown, or they do when he does blonde. It's not like the dirty, ratty blonde with black roots and whatnot. And like it screams at Paul, one of the
Logan, one of the Paul brothers,
the Paul brothers.
Yeah, what is it? Logan Paul and who's the other one?
Jake Paul. Jake
Paul's the faux boxer. Not a guy I'm going to box. I don't want to box with him, but I mean, it is what it is. I just, I don't know. I'll probably watch it simply because I like action movies in general. So it's probably something I'll end up watching. It
definitely screams the A-Team remake.
Why would you do that? Because now I don't want to watch it.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like with the boom, with the explosions and all the other stuff, like it reminds me.
Was this directed by Michael Bay by any chance?
No, I don't know.
Okay, good. All right. Brockheimer, one of the Brockheimers with the telephoto, or J.J. Abrams with the lens flare and space.
In space.
So no smoke monsters, no unnecessary explosions. So it looks like. You know what I'm thinking right now?
The guy who directed Bullet Train.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
And he was a stunt double. The guy who created it was actually Brad Pitt's stunt double. But now he's making a movie about a stunt man going and doing this stuff.
Okay. I bet you he had this idea and somebody was like, yeah, that sounds like Fall Guy from the 80s. And he was like, wait a minute. And then he looked and he was like, holy crap, this is the whole thing. And then he was like,
we could totally remake
this. Yeah. That's probably what happened.
It was like, well, at least we'll get the old crowd.
Yeah. Sort
Will
of.
it be anything like it? No.
No, not at all. No, we're just going to take the name.
The name recognition alone.
Maybe it's supposed to be like a prequel to him getting his start as like the detective that does all this other stuff. Maybe it's supposed to be like how it all started.
What's funny, it says here, like it says, director David Leitch,
Lech,
Leitch,
Lech.
Fall Guy is an action comedy based on the original 1980s TV show with Lee Majors.
Oh, okay.
He said the show was very near and dear to me and other stunt performances of my generation.
So it sounds like a love letter as opposed to a remake.
Right.
Which is fine, I guess. I don't know.
But he is Colt Sievers, which is the Lee Majors character. So it is straight up
same guy?
Same guy. But I guess we'll see May 3rd because that is the date that it comes out.
All right, I guess, and we'll do a review on it, just like we'll do a review on Deadpool.
I don't know. I'm. Why?
I said I'll do a review on it then.
Why do? Well, that's my still gets my question. Why is everything from previous years, like something popular, like immediately shifted into comedy?
Because looking back on those years, like we can't. How do you take some of that stuff seriously?
Right, but if you do it seriously, you can take it seriously.
I mean, okay, here, let's just do it. Let's think about it this way.
I mean, the 18 remake was kind
Scrubs
of
was serious. ER, but funny.
Right.
I mean,
but it was also the word about being like at the same time.
Concurrent?
Yeah, sort of.
They ran concurrently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contemporary. They were contemporary pieces. So like.
Correct. Yes. You know. But my point is, and I mean, ER was just a more modern general hospital. I mean, and
actually it was more an updated version of the 70s hospital.
Yeah. I mean, MASH was always a comedy.
Well, yeah. Well, MASH was, and that was, the movie was a black comedy.
It was, but it was still funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the.
Well, I'm just saying, like Chips was like Highway Patrol.
My point is, looking back at some of those things that we grew up on, it is hard to watch them with any type of seriousness now because of how ridiculous some of those things. Some of the concepts were.
Right, but they were cutting of edge at the time.
At the time,
yeah,
but they're not now. So
because
trying to present them
humanity,
seriously,
like humanity has gotten so far down the rabbit hole.
That's what I'm saying. So trying to present them in a serious light now I feel like would be futile. I don't think it'd be a very good idea.
Well, I mean, they did it with the Mod Squad.
30 years from now, they're going to remake, 30 or 40 years. It'd be 40 years almost. 40 years from now, they'll probably remake ER into a comedy. They probably will. They'll probably look back at it and go, God, I can't believe that they thought that was medical stuff. This is hilarious. Right. And so they'll probably be so that's what's kind of I'm driving at.
Well, I mean, if you look at some of the stuff that they done, like Mod Squad, they redid the Mod Squad, and they didn't redo it as a comedy. They took it seriously. They updated it for the time,
which is fine,
and it
was okay.
Even that was still 20 some years ago, I think. When the remake
pushing it, yeah, it was mid 2000s, maybe 2010. So you might be like 15 years ago.
So it's like some of the things they can give the reverence to. You'd be like, okay,
sure.
If we make this a serious thing, but it, if the series had any hint of comedy in it, which would be bad stuff happened, awkward situation, everybody laughed, and then it was like, oh well, that was just totally a comedy all the way through.
Well, no, here's okay. So I'll put it like this: watching an action movie, your star is supposed to make quippy jokes, and you can blame superhero movies for that. You can blame Iron Man. You can go back and blame in the 2000s and 90s when they really revitalized the Bond series.
Well, I mean,
with
you
Pierce
go
Brosnan,
like 80s and whatnot with
well, that's what
like
I'm saying.
Arnold and
correct.
Sylvester's.
So they always had their quippy remarks and stuff like that. And they'd always say funny things. And I kind of looking at like really kind of reevaluating the Fall Guy trailer. I'm like, was it really funny, or did they just show us some of the funny parts of it? And it really,
right. Well, I mean, it's being billed as an action.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
because if you make an action movie now, they have a tendency, people will tune out if it's too gritty, if it's too real. It doesn't draw a larger audience. So that's probably part of it. They want it to be a little funny, so it alleviates some of the serious nature of what they're talking about.
Well, I mean that's a trick in horror, is like you have tense. Oh my god, what's going to happen? Oh, that's a joke. Ha 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 ha, and it relieves the tension, and then somebody gets hit in the face by
with a 2x4 and a 9-inch spike through it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Or the tie comes off. We talked about that, right? The tie comes off. Well, which you guys might have. Yeah, there you go. There might be a little minor spoiler to something that happens. So, but yeah, you and I talked about that and like the importance of it. Because it is funny. It does subvert the expectation of the seriousness, and then it's you can use things like that to really build to the next level. And you're like, oh shit, ow!
Right? But those aren't billed as horror comedies.
True.
They're just regular horror.
But some of my favorite movies are horror comedies. So I mean, Shaun of the Dead, Child's Play, Bride of Chucky, like Seed of Chucky. All of those are horror comedies. I mean, hell, even the new series Chucky is a comedy. You could say, oh no, it's not. Yes, it kind of is. It's really kind of funny.
Well, I mean, because if you look back, Evil Dead
wasn't supposed to be funny.
Wasn't supposed to be funny.
It just ended up being funny.
2 literally was like a rehash of 1.
Yeah, 2 they remade. Okay, so Evil Dead 2 was a remake of Evil Dead.
Right.
But they built it as a sequel in order to generate the same interest that they got from horror lovers, but they presented it in a more comedic fashion.
Right. And then, it was still built as horror.
Mm-hmm.
Army of Darkness, they just went total camp.
Which was hysterical.
They just embraced it.
Which was great.
They just embraced the thing.
And then from that, we got Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is great. Right. It was absolutely fantastic, right? And then from that, we got Marvel Zombies. I mean, we got all kinds of awesome stuff from that. So I have no qualms about them rebuilding it. But I've watched the Evil Dead remake.
Right.
When they remade it some years later. It was so good.
And
it was good.
Raimi was a part of I helped produce that too.
He went back with the money that he's now able to do and made it a big budget,
right?
And a large studio production. So he
made it more what he wanted to make,
what he wanted it to be to begin with, right? And they did this. They did a sequel to it too, didn't they?
Yeah.
What was the new one called?
Well, I know you got Evil Dead, and I think it was Evil Dead
Rising. That's it. Yeah. Or Dead Rising or something like. No, Dead Rising I think is a game, but whatever. Yeah. So I mean, there's some good things that come out of that stuff. Maybe in 20 more years we'll have a Fall Guy that's made correctly. And but we'll see. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. Obviously, all that stuff helps us out. Go to geekpublicradio.com. Check out some of the other stuff that we've done. So you guys can follow us there on all the socials: Instagram, Facebook, TikToks. Of course, don't forget we are also on Rumble if you do not want to enjoy or imbibe on the YouTubes. We completely understand. So, yeah.
On that note, I am Topher.
I'm Crazy Chris.
And we will see you guys in the next one.
All right. Don't be a booty.